Is there a fight going on? What's happening?
Hello users of the internet and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're one of my current 840 subscribers, then welcome back. And if you're not, let's just both be done pretending to care. If you're not, you're not. I am currently coming to you from the bottom bunk of my accommodation on 20th Street in New York as a part of the new school. I have been studying acting there since August and have been meaning to film this dorm tour literally since then and haven't got around to it until now in March of 2020. To be honest, I probably never would have got around to filming this video because I'm incredibly lazy and love a good procrastinate, but I'd say about 22.5 hours ago, I got an email notifying me that I have to evacuate the premises in under 5 days. So this time next week, I'll be back in Australia. And I figured that filming a dorm tour was a touching way to say goodbye. I also figured that because before I moved here, I was looking up YouTube videos of a lot of 20th Street dorm tours to try and get a gist of what it was like, that other people might want to do the same thing, until we were also told that specifically the 20th Street accommodation has been sold. So no new school student will ever live here again, officially making this video completely and utterly redundant. But also, I guess if anything on this channel wasn't redundant, then it would be super off-brand. So, after what was possibly the world's worst intro, let's get into the dorm tour. So the first place I'm going to show you is the exterior of the building and the downstairs lobby. However, because all of my suite mates have either gone home for spring break or have already completely moved out, I am literally alone and therefore don't want to talk to myself in a public place. So I'm just going to give you a verbal run through from right here. So here is the outside of the building, 20th Street and 8th Avenue, a classic Chelsea location. Honestly, it's probably good that by the time you see this video, I will have already moved out because it just occurred to me that I would have been putting my straight up address online. Yes, the exterior of the 20th Street building does 100% just look like a toilet block, but it's what I call home, or called home, until I found out I was being kicked out. Moving on to the lobby. We have a rotation of security guards, some really nice and accommodating, and some incredibly mean and awful. I'm not gonna tell you where this one lies, you get to pick for yourself. Thank you. Sound off in the comments below. There is obviously a lift, but because I live on the second floor, I usually take the stairs. I love being a health queen. And now here we are, level 2, my domain. There's not really much to it. There's a garbage chute, a little outside courtyard that we can literally never use because it's always locked, a laundry room that not only do we have to pay for, but also only has one working washing machine at a time.
But now, here's where the real fun begins. This is my suite.
Honestly, already from the front door, I think you can get good vibes. We've all got our names on it in little stars, very cute.
I've literally never seen this girl before in my life. I don't know why her name is on our door.
And because we're all really lazy, we've also got our Valentines that we received stuck to the door. And this is it, my humble abode. Humble being the operative word. Honestly, for a living area, it's not a bad size. We've got a couple of tables, a fun little kitchenette station, but considering that originally there was supposed to be 7 people living here, it is definitely on the small side. But we've got a nice little entertainment space that is currently incredibly cluttered because, may I remind you, less than 24 hours ago we were forced to move out. Behind some of the mess, you'll see that we've also just got our wardrobes in the middle of the living room. Because dorm hack, if you want more space in your actual bedroom and also don't mind causing a fire hazard, slash running around in front of everyone you live with completely naked every morning, then stick them in your unnecessarily large common area. I'm also just a fan of the super random decorations we have hanging around. We've got a little bit of Christmas, we've got a little bit of Hanukkah, we're celebrating some birthdays, and we've just got some new school pride going on. So all religions, all celebrations, our bases are covered. We're a very inclusive household. And as far as dorm kitchens go, this one's not bad. We've filled it up with some pretty funky appliances. We've got a kettle, we've got a toaster, we've got a toaster oven, we've got a blender, we've got a sandwich press. Are any of these strictly allowed? You tell me, because I never read my dorm rules and regulations. But have I been consistently using them for almost 2 semesters? 100%. In terms of the facilities that the dorm had on its own, they had a microwave and a stove. An oven, however, no they did not, which is incredibly disappointing. Old me would have been completely unaffected, but just before I left Australia, I got super obsessed with making banana bread, and now I'm deprived. I have to go to a store or a cafe and use my own money like
a goddamn normal person. Anyway, moving on. In terms of living situation, there are 3 rooms in this suite. We've got 2E1, which is supposed to be a double, and side note, used to be home to my psycho roommate's story time coming soon. 2E2, which is also a double, and then the crowning glory of the suite, some might say, some being me, 2E3, where I reside.
So this is my bedroom. It's actually a triple room, which is super weird because none of the 3 of us asked to be put in a triple room, but luckily Phoebe and Maria are queens, so we're all thriving and getting along as roommates. So the way the room's set up, we've got Phoebe's bed over here that's lofted with a desk underneath, and then we've got a bunk bed over here with me on the bottom, and R.I.P. Maria, who used to be on the top. She moved out like 2 hours ago. I'm not emotionally ready for all of this to end. Here are all of our desks, which we have plenty of room for now that we've moved our wardrobes into the living area. And I'll give you a second to guess which one's mine. Yay, good job. I feel like I've made the most of my weird, bland, wood-colored desk. I brought some pop vinyls from home. We've got some Buffy the Vampire Slayer, some McLovin from Superbad, some Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks, some Napoleon Dynamite, some Regina George, a squad of legends, some random stationery so I can trick myself into thinking that I'm actually doing schoolwork at my desk, but also not, because I've literally just transformed it into a makeup table with a full-on makeup mirror, which, by the way, is very handy and very cheap on Dormify, not sponsored because I'm irrelevant, but would recommend if you're trying to set up a dorm room. For any of you who've seen any YouTube videos that I've made while I'm in my room in Sydney, I tried to recreate my musical theatre wall at home as best I could with playbills from the shows that I saw as soon as I got here with my mom. And doing that in week 1 I think is the most organized I've ever been in my life. Am I an interior designer? Absolutely not, because on the other side of my desk I just have some Tide Pods sitting there, which I've never put away and barely even used. I tell myself that if I leave these Tide Pods here and stare at them all the time that I'll do my laundry, except I've only done it twice this year, so joke's on me. Up the top I've also got my tea collection, which I like to use to aggressively remind people of the fact that I'm foreign and not from here. We've got some Sydney breakfast tea, we've got some Lamington tea, we've got a keychain of a small Vegemite, oddly in front of a tiny teacup which I stole from the American Girl store when I had afternoon tea with my doll in 2005, which, believe it or not, you'll probably believe it, is the inspiration for the color scheme of this very bed that I'm on right now. American Girl changed my life. So I went for a classic black and white and pink color scheme. Beside my bed I have a little tray table where I charge my phone and also house my rhinestone Starbucks cup, which I bought on Etsy to mimic the one that Trisha Paytas gave Ryland and Shane. As you may be able to tell, there used to be some things hanging up here. I'll try and find a photo somewhere, but I used to have these cute little hanging displays of photos and Polaroids and ticket stubs from important moments in my life in Australia. But then one night I knocked them off the wall in my sleep and they've been on the floor ever since. And if that's not a metaphor for how 2020's been going so far, I don't know what is. But my favorite part about this room is the stunning view. Windows all round. Obviously out the window you can see the Empire State Building, which is a New York classic, a tourist's dream. But you also get in the view the bodega across the street where I go to get peanut butter bagels at 4 AM on the weekend, and the sex shop across the road. That's Chelsea culture in a nutshell. And then I guess the final destination is the bathroom. I mean, there's a shower that's never hot and a toilet that constantly makes weird noises. I mean, the show, not anything. But I guess that's not interesting, so let's pretend that I wrapped this video up before now. Thank you so much. And that's pretty much all I have for you. Obviously there are some other common spaces in the accommodation, like the basement downstairs, where there's a gym that I go to exclusively at 3 AM, or some music practice rooms that have been flooded literally 4 times by the Rite Aid downstairs. I don't know how it keeps happening. But in terms of my actual living spaces, this is it right here. Or it was it. Please consider this my official 20th Street accommodation in memoriam. You know, it's been a good road while it lasted. A lot of memories, not all good, and a lot of fun interactions with the people I live with. Like when one of our suite mates recorded us without our knowledge and complained about us on her Instagram story. Again, story time coming soon. But I guess it's officially time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video where I took you around my dorm, which is closing in 4 days, then please thumbs up and subscribe. And if you didn't, because it's incredibly delayed and literally irrelevant, then just do it anyway. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! I almost fell off the bed. March of 2020. Oh my god.